Hello? Can you guys hear me? Just you can write in the chat if you don't have your microphone on. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? Okay, great. All right, perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through some basic orientation stuff. Thanks for coming in tonight, and then hopefully this will clear up the questions. So if you still have more questions, you can just write in the chat. If you do have a microphone and you want to turn it on, you can also talk. So either way works fine for me. So can you guys see what's on my screen? Are you screen sharing so you can see I'm in Blackboard? You can just type yes or no. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see. So what I'm going to do, I'm in Getting Started, and I'm just kind of going to go through here and just walk through what you're seeing here. Usually one of the biggest issues that students have figuring out is how to get into the e-text and how to sign up for our book, which is we call MindTap. Sometimes you also hear the word emerge. And then there's also this thing called SAM trainings and SAM exams. So there's a lot of things that go on in this third-party piece of software that we use. So in Getting Started, there is this Read First Emerge PDF. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. If you haven't read through that, this is just a great source of resource for you. Basically the things that I'm going to mention today. Some of the things that have changed for the summer because CCBC is upgrading Blackboard is what has disappeared from our list of tools is something called Blackboard IM, and this is our chat. So right here it's listed like on the little screenshot of our navigation. You see Blackboard IM, and you'll see in our Blackboard that you're not seeing Blackboard IM. They've taken it away. Supposedly it's coming back, but that was just a quick chat where we could chat back and forth and we're both online. But what they have added is what we're using tonight, which is Blackboard Collaborate. So I'm going to schedule probably a weekly session online. Maybe a Monday evenings would be a good time, or Tuesday evenings. So everybody can hop on and ask questions, and then I can answer right away. And in the interim, of course, you can always send me an email through Blackboard. So the other thing I want to show you, and hopefully you're seeing this screen share. Make sure you're seeing the thing I want you to see. Can you behave? Okay, so this Read First Emerge, I'm going to scroll down to the end so you see that what is MindTap. MindTap, Emerge, and SAM kind of go hand in hand, and that is where our book is. So MindTap is a piece of software that is used by Cengage, which is our publisher of our course materials, to present to us the e-text and then some of the simulators that we use to practice office applications and do some training activities. The biggest problem that students have in the beginning is accessing that and figuring out kind of how to navigate it. It's not difficult. It's just not something that you already know. And then we use a lot of different terminology. In addition to that term MindTap, we have this term SAM. And SAM is, again, an online learning tool. You access it through MindTap, and it's the simulator that we use for doing Microsoft Office exercises. So you're going to see that as well. So what I want to show you is how to access MindTap, some of the little tips and tricks there of accessing it, and how to go ahead and purchase your book. Everybody gets a free trial for usually 7 days. My first session summer class actually had 14 days. So it will tell you when you log into MindTap how long before you actually have to purchase the code. So during the free trial time period, there are no restrictions as far as what you can do or what you can see. You get everything that you will get when you've also purchased it. There's no, the experience is no different. Let me just open the syllabus just to show you in the syllabus that section about the book and the options. And you see on page 2, the course materials, you have 2 options, which is to buy through Blackboard for $70, the MindTap Emerge, which includes all of the text and all of the electronic things from the simulators that you have to have there, which come in with the access code. And there's just no physical book that goes along with this. Your other option, option 2, is you get everything that you get in option 1, plus you get what they called a printed companion. Now if you did that, you would have to go to the bookstore on campus. And they would give you the printed companion, and within that would be the access code that you'd then enter in to MindTap to say you've purchased the code once your free trial runs out. What I suggest to students that they do is they try it in the beginning with just the ebook without a printed companion and see if that works for you. It works for most students, so you can spend $70 instead of $100. The printed companion is only going to give you printed pages of our content where you're taking quizzes. There's no office stuff that's printed in like a guidebook to show you how to use Word or Excel or anything. It's just concept materials that's printed.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry, but I have a quick question.
Sure.
For the option 1, will you show us where to get it? Because
Yes, absolutely. Yep, I'm going to show you exactly where to get it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. So those are the 2 options, and let me show you how you access it. So as we go back over to Blackboard, at the bottom of this Getting Started, and there's a lot of information in here. There's information down here at the bottom that talks about accessing MindTap and what you need to do. One of the first things you got to do before you head over into purchasing the code or accessing MindTap is to make sure that your pop-up blockers are off. So no matter which browser you use, and it's not recommended to use Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, recommended to use Firefox or Chrome, just to be able to disable the pop-up blockers. By default, most of us have pop-up blockers on. So you do have to turn that off, because what happens is MindTap comes up in a separate window, and you're going to see it, I'm going to do it. But if you have the pop-up blocker on, then it will stop that from happening. So you just have to make sure that that is turned off. Now there is this system check which you can do just by clicking right here, and it will tell you if it's on or off, and it will also check to make sure you have like an up-to-date browser. So you can run this first just by clicking there, and also we can do little links here just to show you instructions on how to turn off the pop-up blocker depending on which browser you're using. So mine are turned off, so the next little link down is clicking here to register your MindTap access code, and that's where you would go to get this process started. But let me just scroll just a little bit more just so you see there is an access code instruction book. And actually MindTap just had an upgrade 2 weeks ago, so some of this is going to be a little stale because they haven't sent us new stuff, so it looks slightly different. And I knew that might cause some confusion this semester because they just changed it and didn't give us new videos. And there's videos down here on signing up and navigating MindTap. They're always there. They're not going to go away. Feel free to access them. But let me show you how to get in. So anytime you see this little symbol, this is what I call snowflake, puts the MindTap symbol, any link throughout the entire course where you see that, it's going to take you over to MindTap. But in getting started, we have one sitting here that we just say click here to access your code and register. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. And now I'm already into MindTap. So it's going to go straight over because I'm already in, already registered, and it's going to head right in. When you guys, but see how it's in a separate window? When you guys click over there, you're not going to see what I'm seeing because you're not already registered. So wanted to show you that. It's in a separate window so you can see that I still have the window for Blackboard and I have a separate window for MindTap. And it's going to stay that way. They're always going to be in two separate windows. But what you guys will see, and the reason I pointed out the video, because this I can show you sorry, it's so loud. I'll show you this little video. And this is our rep, Frank, talking. And this is what you should see. It might look a little bit different because they change this all the time, but you should have these three options, okay? If you are going to redeem, you have an access code already, you'd press redeem an access code. If you are going to pay with a credit card, debit card, or PayPal, you click this first option. If you want to take advantage of the free trial for now, you're going to click go to my course. And then it will prompt you regularly to remind you that you haven't paid yet and give you the option always to pay or to put in an access code. You would put in an access code if you had gone to the bookstore and bought the package that has a printed companion, then you didn't have the access code in a little pamphlet inside your packet. Otherwise, if you're just doing the $70 option and you're ready to go ahead and do that purchase, you click pay online with credit, debit, or PayPal. And again, go to my course is going to give you the chance to just work in the free trial for now, okay, which is fine. You can do that. It's no different to you. I'm going to forward this video a little bit. He's going to say the same things I just did. Okay, so this is what it will look like when you do enter the access code, even if you enter it later after the free trial. It'll still give you that same window. And you just have to be careful that you put that access code in absolutely the way it is, provided to you with uppercase, lowercase numbers, being very careful. It's very case sensitive. Just be careful with that. Don't put extra spaces at the end or at the beginning because it won't accept it. So just be careful with that. I'll just take this a little bit further, and then you're going to hit submit. Again, if you're on the free trial, you won't put in the code. It'll just take you over here. You'll have to accept their agreement. And then you will see this, and you'll see emerge. That's the name, actual name of our content book. And then you will click enter, and it'll take you into what you were seeing for me. So I'm already into MindTap, and you would see something similar to this. Okay? Oh, I see someone says the bookstore says they don't have it. Can you tell me which campus that was on? Okay. All right, good. Yes, because they should have them. So if they say they don't, just let us know and you wanted the printing companion. Okay, good. So then once you are signed up into MindTap, whether it's on the free trial, you've put your code in. Then you can start navigating back over here in our course to get work done. And of course, when you're doing work, you're going to go into learning modules. And let me turn mine off so that it looks like yours. Here, hold on a second. All right, now mine looks like yours. So then you're just going to follow along in the week 1, week 2, week 3 to-do list. And let me show you module 1, where MindTap comes into play. Orientation is basically going through getting started, introducing yourself to the class, look at the syllabus, look at the schedule, that kind of thing. Then you're ready to go on and do some work. Word processing being the first folder where you have something to do. And in word processing, we have some learning objectives, and you see these items that have those little, what I call snowflakes or Cengage symbols beside them. Every time you see a Cengage symbol there, it's going to open up an assignment over in MindTap. Now, for this particular module in Word and word processing, you have a couple of things that are graded and some things that are not graded. So the trainings, the SAM trainings, and we assume that most students know how to use Word, so we don't spend a lot of time teaching you how, but we do have some refresher materials. So the refresher materials are the SAM trainings. If I click on SAM training, then you see there's 3 different trainings. Again, you see that they are not graded, although there is a points recorded, and you'll see a score, but it won't be added into your grade. You'll just see that you got a score. But let me just, sorry, I clicked over on something I didn't mean to. Let me show you what happens here when you do click on an assignment that's going to use MindTap and SAM and all those things. This is actually using SAM, which is a simulator. If I click on Word Training 1, you'll see not much happens in this Blackboard window. It just kind of clicks and then nothing. But if you look in your MindTap window, MindTap is actually loading the assignment. So one of the biggest tricks here, once you get MindTap going and you have your access enabled, then you have to realize you have these 2 windows open, and you can go to Blackboard to click on the assignment you want to do, but then you have to go back over to the other window to see it. It's not going to make it the active window. So then you just wait it out, and it will take, sometimes 30 seconds for it to load exactly to where you're ready to start your assignment, and then you can just click on Start. Now in SAM training, this is supposed to emulate a couple of different things. Being able to see something, being able to watch somebody doing something, being able to do it yourself in order to learn. So just to orient you a little bit into how SAM trainings work, and this is a Word SAM training, some basic stuff here. This particular, down here at the bottom, see these 4 things: intro, observe, practice, and apply. Intro is like reading a book. Observe is watching a video. Practice is you doing it with help, and apply is you doing it by yourself, no help, and you actually would get if this was graded, this is where you would get your scoring. Also notice, so this is like similar to pages out of a book, so it's teaching us how to delete a page break. Notice these methods. There are 4 methods that they're going to discuss in a PC Windows environment, and then also if you have a Mac, what would the keystrokes be if you were in an Apple environment. So you can open all of these up. Again, these are just different methods you can use to do the same thing. It just tells you them, just like you would read them in a book. And there's the Apple method. So you don't do anything here in the intro, you're just reading about it. In the Observe section, it's going to give you a little video. So you just watch it. Notice that it says task complete. It wants you to press that, and it does automatically forward to the practice module. This doesn't mean you have to do it. You also have some control over the volume and pausing and fast forwarding over here on the right hand side when it's talking. Let's say you didn't want to do the practice, you just wanted to skip to the apply and do the work. You could do that. You don't have to do each and every step. You can just pick and choose what you want to do. So the practice is going to like guide you through doing this. This is click to the left of the page break notation, so I'm going to click over there. It tells me I did it wrong. Always fun. Still doesn't like where I'm touching, so I'm going to try it in here. There we go. And then I can press the V on my keyboard. And I get it right, it'll say press task complete. And then the apply, it's the same thing, but with no help. And down here at the bottom, it's giving you directions, and you just do what it says. So I'm going to click there again, press delete on the keyboard. It's going to tell me I did it right. Press task complete, and it moves me to the next task. Looking here in the bottom center, you see there's 20 of tasks in this particular lesson, so I could navigate to whichever one I wanted to. You don't have to do them in order. And this is just practice of what I could do. Over here on the left, you can show the task list. And this is going to show you in list format all the little skills that are going to be practiced in this particular training. So you might want to like look through here, see what you know, what you don't know. You could pick and choose and just do the ones that you wanted to remember how to do, because maybe you remember how to change a theme and you don't feel like you need to practice that. So you can do whatever you want to in here. Notice that the check is on the first task. That's because we completed it by doing the apply step. The successful completion of the apply step will give you a check on one of these task list items. So that's navigating the SAM trainings. You can start and stop them at any time, that you want to. And it will score them, but again, the trainings don't apply. The word training, some trainings do apply to your grade, but it's noted this particular training, the word trainings do not. So you can start and stop this as many times as you want. You can do whatever you want just to get, the material that you need to be able to finish up. So I'm going to click exit here, and I'm going to exit the training. It'll give you a score. Ask if you want to print it. You don't have to do that. And take us back to Mind Tap. Now I can go right back over to Blackboard. I'm back at my trainings that I was working on. If I now wanted to go to Word Training 2, I can click on Word Training 2. And again, in the Mind Tap window, it's going to be loading the Word Training 2. So that's how I suggest you navigate around. You go to Blackboard to click on the assignment that you want to do. You have that Mind Tap window open, and it'll load the assignment in if it's one that's being completed in Mind Tap. Now the other thing I want to show you, any questions there so far? Anybody have any specific something they want to ask? Okay. The other thing I want to show you, particularly here when we're processing, we had the word review exam. Now this is your graded assignment for review for Word. Now it is also a Mind Tap SAM assignment. It's going to be similar to the training apply section, in that you're going to do steps with no help and you're going to be graded on them. Let me click on here and I'll go ahead and open this so you see it. See how quickly it loads for me. You notice that you have 3 attempts at the entire thing, and you also have 10 tries per task within the assignment. So once you start it, you do have to finish it. You can't like save it and step away and come back to it. It will take an attempt away every time that you exit, so you've got to be careful about that. But notice there are 35 questions in this exam, so you have 3 different trainings, each that have a various amounts of tasks. But here, oops, I clicked on something too fast. Here, you see the task list for this particular exam and all the different things that you have to do there. So this is your ultimate goal this week in Word anyway. is to successfully complete this exam. All right? And so it will score this. You're going to get instructions at the bottom. You can see there's no help. Indent the first line of the paragraph 1/2 inch. I don't know the method that it wants me to do it, so I'm just going to press tab and see if it likes it. And it did, so it got something right. It pushes you to the next question. You can also navigate around to different questions if you want. And notice this attempts remaining is 10. That's attempts at this particular question. So you have 10 attempts at each question to get it right, so clicking around and do stuff wrong, you have 10 tries to do that, and 3 times at the whole entire thing. So you do it the first time and you don't like your score, you can do it again, and you can do it up to 3 times. The scores do transfer automatically over to Blackboard, and it will take the highest of your 3 scores and record it in the grade book in Blackboard. So if you, oops, keep clicking out, you want to pay attention to that to make sure that MindTap is sending over the proper score to Blackboard if you're doing multiple attempts. It's been pretty good about it. Very rarely do we have any mistakes, but just let me know if you do see something that doesn't look right on that. So questions about the SAM trainings or the SAM exams? Okay, good so far? Okay, I submitted my assignment. I didn't do very well. All right, so back over to Blackboard. Other things that you're going to see. Let's go, I'm going to look at Module 2. Module 2 is your first content module. So not doing lab work, working in Word or PowerPoint or something like that, but actually content. And this is information literacy. We have 2 modules of literacy, one digital literacy, one information literacy. So digital literacy, you know, knowing all about what's computing in digital life and what that's all about. Information literacy, basically how to retrieve information like you would get at the library if you were doing research. So those 2 basic concepts. But let me show you in digital literacy how you access the actual e-text. Okay? So in concept modules, it'll be a little different. You'll have readings. This is your e-text. You have some videos and RSS feeds that are just kind of flown in from Cengage that are related. Nothing to find unless I specifically ask you to watch something or look at something. Otherwise, it's more just informational. But here you do have some SAM trainings that are graded. All right, so you have to pay attention to this. Only 2 of the 3 that are graded, but you want to make sure you get those done. So let me first show you the reading. So this is your e-text. So if I click on reading, again, it's going to show up over in MindTap. It's going to load the text. Okay, it'll give us a second, and then we'll load. All right, our 2 different modules for digital literacy. Okay, computer and computer literacy. And here's the e-text. Now, e-text is really good. It's easy to read. It's not a lot of material. They really are succinct in what they put in here. And if you navigate down, there's always like a definition in red in the beginning. And they talk about why these things matter. Consider this. There's a variety of information depending on the topic, and usually there's some essential information and then ethical information. So it's just a 1-page read on the topic, so it's not too involved. Anytime you see a blue lettering, that's considered a glossary term. So if you click on it, you're going to get a definition. There's a self-quiz at the bottom. Not graded, it's just something to see, like how am I absorbing the material. You have this space at the top that will allow it to read the page to you, so if you want it read to you, you can. You can increase the font size if you want of the text. You can also print the text. You can also bookmark the text. You can ask a question if you need to. And then really cool in here, in the MindTap readers, you have a built-in dictionary. You have a glossary, You have note-taking. There it is. Wait a minute. I've changed it around a little bit. And Study Hub is going to help you study. Here's the note-taking. Yeah, they just upgraded this too. So you can do notes. Right within here is actually this links to an Evernote account. You can make notes within your text by highlighting. You can add a note. You can look something up in the dictionary. You can make a flashcard. You can highlight the text. So this is specific to you. So the notes and different things that you do in your e-text will be unique to your look at the book. So when you come back to it, it will have your notes and your flashcards and whatever you make in there. And you can access them through the Study Hub. You can do some flashcards down here. So there's a variety of tools in your e-text that are pretty helpful to you. Hopefully they're helpful to you. And then the arrows are just to navigate to the next page. So the next page is about what is a computer. So like I said, there's not a lot of extraneous text in here. Really, it's very succinct, tells you what you need to know, and nothing more. You see tables like this with a plus. It just means if you click the plus, it's bigger than what you're seeing, so it'll give you the whole view. So you can see the whole table there. The quizzes that we do come from these readings. So part of this module is the quiz 1. So quiz 1 on information literacy and digital literacy is from the readings in these two subfolders. So information literacy also has a readings section. And so those two readings would be where you would get the answers to the questions in the quiz. The assignment 2, again, 2 trainings, and they are mind taps, so you would click on those, and again, it's going to load up in that separate window. Just some steps for you to do and things for you to answer, and these are actually graded. Okay, there, start that. And you can see this one is a little unique. The other one we were, the other SAM training we looked at was office-oriented, so you were doing tasks in Word, where this is a concept SAM training. So it's like a little video. You can see there's only one question. Little video that you watch, and then the apply is answering some questions based on a little video that you watched. So it's a little bit different. So you have a variety of things going on here, although they're all called SAM trainings. If they're for concepts, it's more like a little video and then some questions. And if it's an office product, it's actually doing work in the office product. So that is a graded exercise. You want to answer those questions before you left. I'm not doing any of it. And then it yells at me and tells me I didn't complete it, but I do know that. And then the SWORD citation training would be similar to the one we already saw, but this, if you have never used the citation tool, is a very good citation tool in Word, and this is going to teach you how to use that. So that would be part of it. So that's navigating in the learning modules. Also note that we have assignments and projects and quizzes on the left. You could see all the assignments and projects together in one big list as opposed to littered throughout the modules when you click on assignments and projects. These links will take you all to the same places. It's just a different way of looking at them. So they're linked through the modules. They're also linked over here. And then the quiz is the same way. So you can get to them in multiple ways. Whatever kind of works for you is fine. They all take you to the same place and will show up the same way in the grade book. So any questions on that, any of those things so far? Everybody okay? All right, terrific. My groups on the left side, that'll come later when we do a collaboration project. Right now that's empty. Same as the final exam. The communications course email is how you're going to send email to me. You can also send email to your fellow students in our class. So when you create a message in here, it's a real basic email editor. In the to section, you're going to find me. You also find all your classmates. You select who the email is going to. You write arrow to put the recipients on the right side. And then you put in the subject line, and it requires a subject line. It won't let you get away with nothing. Type in your text, whatever it is you're going to send to me. So, and if you need to, you can attach a file, and then submit, and it's going to send it to me. And then I'll reply back to you. So if you need to communicate with me via email, this is the way you do it, not through CCBC mail. The Collaborate and the Collaborate schedule here on the left is more for me. This Collaborate is supposed to work like Blackboard IM, which isn't working, but still the Collaborate link's not working right. Again, this is a Blackboard update that CCBC has done this summer, and it's not quite fully functional, at least not in my course just yet. So if I figure it out, I will send out instructions and tell you what to do. Discussion board is where you want to post your introductions. I know some of you have already done that. And here's where it would go. Introductions. Do I have that on again? Okay. If you have any general course questions, you can put that under the Cyber Cafe, or merge questions or comments, you can put them here. This is public, so discussion boards are for everyone to see. So if you want to put in the Cyber Cafe, like, hey, did anybody figure out how to do, you know, a specific assignment, or you have some sort of just general question you wanted to pose to the entire class, that's where you would put that, and everybody could see it and respond if you wanted to. The other thing to see over here is the web links, virtual desktop. If anybody is having compatibility issues, getting MindTap or different things to work, you would want to just send me, I put some instructions when they're getting started on the virtual desktop, but you would want to touch base with me, and then we would probably just meet online, and I'd show you how to use the virtual desktop to be able to solve that issue. But what it is basically is virtual machines that CCBC is running to enable students to log into our virtual machines to run software like you're sitting on campus. So sometimes students will have a computer that's not compatible with something they're trying to use that we're asking you to use in class, and they'll use the desktop, the virtual desktop, to solve that problem. Most CSIT 101 students do not have that issue, but if you, if you ever did, just let me know and I could get you set up with that. Cengage Tech Support is a link for issues with MindTap. So Cengage is the publisher of MindTap and Immersion SAM. And if you have any problems with their software working or not working for you, then their tech support is who you contact. CCBC Blackboard Help on Campus cannot help you with issues with MindTap. So part of purchasing your code is you also get their tech support. And they're real quick. They have online chat all the time. It's usually the best way to do it. And they answer you real quick. Most of the time, the issues the student has is an out-of-date browser or some sort of setting in the browser, and they're real quick at telling you what to change. And then the other links over there are just for CCBC Help. One big thing for you all, you will be taking your final on campus at the CCBC Testing Center. So here's a link to the testing centers. You do have to make an appointment to schedule that in the last week of class. I think it starts, what, August 15th or something like that, 15th to 20th. Is our final exam week, and you just want to go ahead and make an appointment, which any of the campuses is fine, just at their testing center. Because all online students in the summer, that's largely the population we have is online students, must come to the testing center that week to take their finals. So you want to make sure you get that scheduled as soon as you want to make it work for you. So that's pretty much, you know, orientation again. Don't forget, Getting Started has a lot of goodies in it, kind of on how to get around to class, questions you may have, schedule, syllabus. If you haven't already done it, I would encourage you to sign up for text alerts from me using this third-party piece of software called Remind. It also has an app you can download to your phone, and that way if you have a question, you can quickly text it to me. And it comes right to my phone, and I can answer you right away too. So that's probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. I can also send alerts out through that Remind app as well. And also, there's a Blackboard app. If anybody wants to install Blackboard on their phone or your iPad or whatever, there is an app that you can do. And so it will have you getting alerts and stuff on the go, which is kind of nice. Any changes that's made in the course, it'll alert you. If I grade something, it'll alert you. And sometimes students like that. Other than that, are there any questions that I can answer for any of you that are still here with me? You can just say it or type it in the chat. Okay, great. Thank you for that response. All right, good. If you guys have any more questions, don't hesitate to let me know. And again, I'll probably schedule this session again next week for questions that you guys may have in the future. For now, that's all. I will let you go, and I'll talk to you soon. Good luck on getting your assignments done. Okay? See you later. Bye. You're welcome.